Baojun is a Chinese brand created in 2010. It is a cooperation between three companies, Tongyong, SAIC and Wuling. And today I'm going to review this model, the Baojun 510, a 5-seater mini SUV. So today I'm going to have a look around and we will see why this car is such a huge success in China now. So why did I choose this car and why did I choose Baojun? As I said before, Baojun didn't exist 8 years ago, and now it is one of the top 10 brands in China. So why? What's the reason for such a success? Well, the main reason is the target. They have found the sweet spot for pricing, quality, and vehicle design. They have decided to go after customers in lower income, so-called second-tier cities. They developed small and medium-sized crossovers and SUVs based on older GM architectures. As you can see it everywhere in China. You have the local version of Uber called Didi Dazhi, and almost all of the drivers are using this kind of cars nowadays. So you can see them everywhere in the streets. And the first reason for such a success is the external design of the car. The external styling, as I said before, is simple and sharp at the same time. As I said before, you have the sharp lines going from the front of the car to the back. You have an alternate of black and white and silver, which you can also see here. You have a blade running through the sides of the car. The front lights are very thin and sharp. They are LED, and here under a big glass you have the fog lights and the blinkers, all together under a big plastic cover. You can see all the car is made with sharp lines from the front of the car to the tailgate. The rear lights make me think of Nissan. On the tailgate of the car you can see lots of Chinese characters, so for the non-Chinese speakers I'll try to explain. Here you have the SAIC, here you have Tongyong, and here you have Wuling. So these are the three companies that joined their forces to create this brand. Baojun is a pun, a play on words. In China you have the brand BMW, it's called Baoma. And Baoma and Baojun have the same meaning, they mean treasured horse. As you can see here, the badge of the car, it kind of reminds you of a Ferrari. Have a look in the trunk. So it opens normally. So the trunk is big but not huge, nothing special. But what you can see here is where they cut corners. So we have some very cheap looking plastic here. The hinges don't look really great. And I think when you see this, it looks kind of flimsy. The plastic doesn't look great. The same goes for here, the arches. Doesn't look great. Under the trunk we have the spare tire, which is a full-size spare tire, and a fire extinguisher, but I don't think this was stock. Anyway, the spare tire, a full-size spare tire, and as well as some tools to change your tire. Again, nothing special, just the bare minimum. Under the hood we have a tiny 1.5 liter engine made with GM, as you can see here. It is a 16-valve engine developing 110 horsepower. Crazy. This engine can be found in some Chevrolet, Daewoo and Suzuki cars. Surprisingly, although it's not a very powerful car and it's not very heavy, you have brake discs here and front. So 4 discs to stop this huge machine. On the roof you have some quite useful luggage rack and this gives this car a kind of sturdy look. Okay, let's have a look inside. So, on the inside, it's not exactly the same as the other Chinese cars are reviewed since. You still have the same colors of black, gray, silver, so it's quite boring now actually. But you can see some nice touches here and there. For example, these piano keys, they remind me of the Peugeot style. The power lock, the traction control, and the warning. These two buttons, they control nothing. The climate control is all electronic. So from here you can control the power of the wind, you can control the temperature, hot or cold, the AC.
And here you have the wind direction.
So quite basic, but everything is controlled electronically. In the center console you have the control for the gearbox, so it's an automatic gearbox, so reverse, neutral, drive and manual. And you have this little button. This button is for the two modes, E for economy and S for sports. Here you can empty your pockets, you can put your phone or some money. Here you have a USB socket,
as well as a 12-volt socket and a lighter.
This is not a big car, so in the middle here you have the ashtray, and here you have this tiny opening where you can empty your pockets too. The inside of the doors is all plastic, but it looks surprisingly sturdy and thick. So plastic here, and here it's a bit softer, almost like leather. You have stitching here, white stitching.
And of course you have a door storage compartment here.
It's quite sturdy and it feels nice to the touch. The steering wheel and the gauge cluster are simple, but you have lots of functions. So you have the speedometer, you have the fuel level, the temperature, and
on the right side you have the tachometer.
Here you have the speed limiter. You can set it here. And on the other side is the audio and Bluetooth controls. And you also have paddles here and there. These are not decorations, they are actually working. Look at the passenger side. So you have the same door, obviously. You have some nice silver accents here, and this is the glove box. So yeah, it's all made of plastic, no light, nothing special. Okay, now that we have seen everything about the appearance of that car, the exterior and the inside, let's go for a drive test. So to start the car you need to press the brakes and turn the key. So you don't have the button, and let's go. So first let's do it in automatic mode. So just turn to D and let's go. The gauge cluster is just black and white, but it's very clear. So I can see now that I'm on drive mode and economy. I'm doing 10 liters per 100 kilometers. And I think it's, comfort is very important for a car in China. Although this car is not very expensive, I will tell you the price later. It is very quiet. Now for a real road test. Okay, this car has a problem. There's something I don't like about that car, is the time it needs between one gear to another. It's very slow, it takes lots of time. So it's kind of lagging, and the feeling is not very pleasant. So maybe this is because I'm in economic mode. So I'll try the sports mode to see if there is any difference. So now I switch to sports mode. Can feel the car is more reactive. No, it's the same. It takes lots of time. Again, very quiet. I'm surprised because the engine is only a 1.5 liter, but it's quite reactive in sports mode. It's not slow, not fast either, but not slow, definitely not slow. Okay. I will do an acceleration test when I have the opportunity. It's not changing gears when I want it to. It's a bit annoying. The engine is like revving, and I don't really like the noise it's making. It's really high. So this gearbox is, I don't like it. Except from that, the car drives well. Okay. Nah, the acceleration is meh. Maybe because I was climbing, so let's try on a straight line now. When I have time, when I have the chance to do so. Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah. Can feel the car is slowing down when it's changing gears. So yeah, not a pleasant feeling. Okay, when you go on reverse, you have the rear view camera, and it even indicates you where your car will go. Okay, easy does it. A last word about the infotainment system. So it's really nothing special. You have 6 big buttons if you want to listen to the radio, SD card, power. Okay, the sound is also nothing special, not bad but not good. You have USB power, you have USB audio, SD card, Bluetooth, and you can connect it to a phone if you want to.
So, as a conclusion, I can say that this car fits perfectly its mission. Chinese people don't like noisy cars, but they like nicely designed vehicles. This Baojun ticks all the right boxes. Although some cheap materials can be found here and there, it gives a nice global impression. And if you're not a speed addict like I am, this is a good choice as a daily driver for a price ranging between 80 to 120,000 yuan.